Police dog bites nanny at breakfast, then they find poison in baby's meal. The kitchen was quiet, except for the soft clinking of a spoon against a bowl. Morning sunlight filtered through the blinds, bathing the room in a golden glow. Sarah, the blonde nanny dressed in a pale pink hoodie and jeans, smiled down at the curly-haired toddler in the high chair. "There we go, sweetheart," she cooed, bringing another spoonful of oatmeal to his tiny mouth. The boy giggled, his bright blue eyes sparkling as he kicked his legs against the tray. Sarah felt a flicker of warmth in her chest. She had been caring for little Noah for nearly 6 months, and though the job wasn't easy, moments like this almost made her forget the tension brewing in her personal life. Almost. But her brief peace shattered in an instant. A deep, guttural growl rolled through the air. Sarah turned just in time to see Thor, a massive German shepherd from the local police K9 unit, charging into the kitchen. His handler's frantic shouts echoed behind him. "Thor, heel! Heel!" Before Sarah could react, Thor lunged forward, his teeth clamping down on her sleeve. She screamed, jerking her arm away from the high chair, the spoon of oatmeal flying across the table. "No, stop!" she cried, twisting in panic as the dog pulled her arm down and then shoved her back. The toddler's laughter turned to a shrill wail. "Get this animal off me!" Sarah shrieked, tears forming in her wide blue eyes. At that moment, Mark, the baby's father, burst into the room, his plaid shirt wrinkled, his face pale with horror. "What the hell is going on here?" Thor's handler, Officer Daniels, ran in seconds later, his hand gripping the leash. But instead of pulling the dog back, Daniels froze. "Sir, wait," he said sharply to Mark, his voice tense. "Thor isn't attacking her. He's signaling." Mark stared at the scene, his chest heaving. "Signaling? He's got his teeth on her. My son is screaming. Pull him back before he kills someone." But Daniel's eyes were fixed on Thor, who had released Sarah's arm and was now pawing furiously at the high-chair tray. The German shepherd's nose hovered over the toddler's oatmeal bowl, growling low and steady. Mark's breath caught in his throat. "Sir, step away from the child," Daniel said urgently. "What are you talking about? That's my son." "Please, the dog's alerting to something dangerous in the food." Mark blinked in disbelief. "Dangerous? That's insane. Sarah made the oatmeal herself. She's been our nanny for months." Sarah's voice cracked as she stumbled backward. "It's just oatmeal. I swear I didn't do anything. This dog is out of control." Thor let out another sharp bark and nudged the bowl with his snout. Daniels pulled a small testing kit from his belt and carefully dipped a strip into the oatmeal. The room seemed to stop breathing. Seconds later, the strip turned a deep, alarming shade of purple. Daniel's face went grim. "Sir, there's a toxin in the food. If your son had eaten just a few more bites, his airway would have shut down within minutes." Mark's knees almost buckled. He scooped Noah into his arms, clutching the sobbing child to his chest. "Oh, my God! Oh, my God!" Sarah staggered back against the counter, her face pale. "No, that's impossible. I didn't—" Daniels raised a hand. "Ma'am, I need you to sit down and keep your hands where I can see them." Sarah's lips trembled. "You can't think I—" "I don't know yet," Daniels cut her off. "But Thor doesn't make mistakes. He's trained for this." Mark's mind spun as he rocked his crying son. Poison in his house, in his baby's food. "Who could have done this?" he whispered, his voice raw with panic. His eyes darted between Sarah and the oatmeal. "Sir, We'll need to test every food item in this kitchen and question anyone who's had access to the child's meals," Daniel said firmly. The toddler let out a soft cough, and Mark's panic flared into full-blown terror. "We need an ambulance now!" Daniels barked into his radio. Sarah sank to the floor, clutching her head. "I didn't do this, I didn't," she whispered, but her voice lacked conviction. Thor remained by the high chair, his body taut and growling low, his amber eyes locked on Sarah. As sirens wailed in the distance, Mark realized two terrifying truths. Someone had tried to kill his son, and the person responsible might be standing in his kitchen. The piercing sound of sirens grew louder as Mark clutched Noah to his chest, his hands trembling so hard he could barely support the toddler's small frame. The boy's breaths came in ragged gasps now, his blue eyes half-lidded. "Stay with me, buddy. Stay with Daddy," Mark whispered, panic clawing at his throat. Thor growled again, pacing near the high chair as Officer Daniel spoke urgently into his radio. "Dispatch, we've confirmed toxin detection. Suspected poisoning of a minor. Requesting medical ASAP. Child is semi-responsive." Sarah sat slumped against the kitchen counter, pale and shaking. Her hoodie sleeves were still damp where the dog had bitten and slobbered. She looked like a ghost. "You have to believe me," she croaked. I would never hurt Noah. You know me, Mark." Mark's eyes burned as he turned to her. "You're the only one who's been in this house this morning. You made his breakfast. So tell me, how did poison get in my son's food?" Sarah's lips parted in protest, but nothing came out. Before she could answer, paramedics rushed through the door, wheeling in a stretcher. One of them, a woman with cropped hair, immediately took Noah from Mark's arms. "We've got him. Sir, step back, please." Mark staggered to the side, his legs weak. The second paramedic gave Noah a shot of epinephrine before checking his airway. "Pulse is weak. We need to move, now." As they whisked Noah out the door, Mark started to follow, but Daniel stopped him. "Sir, wait. We need to secure your home first," the officer said firmly. Mark's voice cracked. "That's my son. I can't—" "Thor and I came here this morning because there's already been a threat on your family," Daniels interrupted. Mark froze. 2 days ago, the precinct received an anonymous call about a possible attempt to harm you or your son. We assigned Thor to sweep the property for explosives or toxins before anything could happen. He picked up a faint trace this morning and bolted for the kitchen. That's how we got here in time. Mark's mouth went dry. "You knew someone was targeting my family, and you didn't call me?" Daniel's jaw tightened. "We had no confirmed evidence until now. I'm sorry, sir, but I swear to you, we'll find out who did this." Behind them, Sarah's knees gave out. She sank fully to the floor, sobbing. "I didn't know about any threats. Please believe me," she whimpered. "I've been here every day. I would never—" Thor growled again, his teeth bared. Daniels glanced at the dog, then back at Sarah. "Ma'am, we need you to come with us for questioning." At the hospital, Mark paced the sterile hallway like a man possessed. His hands wouldn't stop shaking. Through the glass, he could see doctors working on Noah, their movements quick but calm. His son, his only child. Every horrible possibility clawed at his mind. What if they were too late? What if he never got to see Noah's eyes light up again? Mark clenched his fists and pressed them to his lips, stifling a sob. "Sir?" Daniel's voice broke through his spiral. The officer stood behind him, holding a small evidence bag. Inside was a jar of baby oats. It tested positive for the same toxin. Daniel said gravely. Mark's stomach churned. Sarah? Daniels nodded slowly. We found it in the pantry. Only her prints are on the lid. Mark's knees buckled. He grabbed the wall for support. Back at the station, Sarah sat in an interrogation room, her eyes red and swollen. I didn't poison him, she whispered. I swear to you, someone planted it. You have to believe me. Daniels folded his arms. You had exclusive access to that kitchen. No one else was there this morning, and Thor doesn't make false alerts. Sarah's tears fell harder. I've been scared. Someone's been following me. Daniels frowned. Explain. She hiccuped between sobs. Last week, I saw a man watching me when I walked Noah in the park. He had a scar on his cheek. I didn't tell anyone because I thought I was imagining it. Daniel's eyes narrowed. Scarred cheek? Yes. He stood abruptly and left the room. Back at the hospital, Noah was finally stable. Mark sat beside his bed, clutching his tiny hand. I'm so sorry, buddy. Daddy should have protected you, he whispered. His phone buzzed. Daniel's voice was sharp on the other end. Sir, we just reviewed security footage. A man matching Sarah's description of the stalker broke into your house last night. He tampered with your pantry. This wasn't Sarah. She was set up. Mark's heart stopped. Who would do that? Daniels hesitated. We're still confirming, but this may connect to your company's lawsuit against William Tarrant. His brother was terminated last year, and he's made threats before. Mark's face went pale. 2 days later, the suspect was arrested after being caught on surveillance near the house. The toxin was traced to his car. Sarah was cleared of all charges, but she remained shaken. Mark visited her as she packed her things. I'm sorry, he said quietly. I doubted you. Her hands trembled as she folded Noah's blanket. I understand. You were protecting your son. You saved his life, Mark said. You're family to us now. Please, don't leave. But Sarah shook her head. I need time to heal. I love Noah like my own, but I can't stay, not after this. Thor stood nearby, his amber eyes watching them both silently. Weeks later, Mark held Noah close in their sunlit kitchen. The baby giggled as he played with Thor, who had become his constant protector. Mark glanced at the high chair, his heart heavy. They had come so close to losing everything, but they didn't, because one dog had refused to stay quiet and saved a life. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more emotional, dramatic, and unexpected tales. And let us know in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? We love hearing from all of you. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep watching.